to start the playthrough. Maybe. Oh, it's gonna be so loud. Alrighty. Man. Sounds good. Class. I'm probably gonna go. You know what? I'll go Bandit. The gift. I know if you take the fire bombs, the black fire bombs, you can beat the first boss, the Silent Demon. You can beat him, and then you get a big hammer. It's used for a strength build. Let's say we'll sit here and watch this.
In the age of ancients, the world was unformed, shrouded by fog. A land of grey crags, arch trees, and everlasting dragons. But then there was fire, and with fire came disparity. Heat and cold, life and death, and of course, light and dark. Then from the dark they came and found the souls of lords within the flame. The first of the dead. The Witch of Izalith and her daughters of Chaos. Gwyn, the Lord of Sunlight, and his faithful knights. And the furtive pygmy, so easily forgotten. With the strength of lords, they challenged the dragons. Gwyn's mighty lords peeled apart their stone skills. Witches weaved great firestorms. Nito unleashed a miasma of death and disease. Seeth the scales betrayed his own, and the dragons were no more. Thus began the Age of Fire. But soon the flames will fade, and only dark will remain. Even now, there are only embers, and man sees not light, but only endless nights. And amongst the living are seen carriers of the accursed dark side. Yes, indeed. The dark sign brands the undead. And in this land, the undead are corralled and led to the north. Where they are locked away to await the end of the world. This is your fate.
Alrighty. Thankfully, the start of the game is easy. And nothing much to be scared about. At least not until I get up here to actually start fighting actual enemies. I think when you take the black fire bombs, it's the first time you meet this boss here, that if you kill him, get like his demon mace, and you'll pretty much be able to run past the start. I'm not good at it. If you can do it right here, about 5 minutes. Because you need 46 strength in the game. It's kind of hard to get early game. It's a more or less a late game weapon, very much so, but it's still nice to have it. To sit here and be like, haha, I did it. Now I know really skilled players, they could probably beat the boss with the broken sword they have. But unfortunately, I am not really skilled. I am still rather bad at the game. Something a lot of things people aren't used to will be if you've played this before, but you just press Y to dual wield, and like the start of the game says, you are undead, so that's where the humanities come in. You have the humanity and you use it, and then at a bonfire you rest and you can restore your humanity. boost to your health and a boost to your stamina. But the downside is that each time you die, you lose your humanity. So, it's always something to keep in mind. And here's the fellow that saved us.
You're no hollow. Thank goodness. I'm done for, I'm afraid. I'll die soon, then lose my sanity. I wish to ask something of you. You and I were both undead. Hear me out, will you? Regrettably, I have failed in my mission, but perhaps you can keep the torch lit. There is an old saying in my family, thou who art undead art chosen, and thine exodus from the undead asylum maketh pilgrimage to the land of ancient lords. When thou ringeth the bell of awakening, the fate of the undead thou shalt know. Well, now you know, and I can die with hope in my heart. Oh, one more thing. Here, take this. An Estus flask, an undead favorite.
Hooray, Estus.
Oh, and this.
See, this is where you can.
Now I must bid farewell. I would hate to harm you after death. So go now, and thank you.
I know you can kill it, forget the dialogue, so you're just gonna. But why? It's because we're not nice. Because of killing right there, it actually doesn't matter. But too, I think if you leave, like go up the stairs up here, and he's still alive, you come back down. He is hostile, and then you end up having to kill him anyway. So it's just as like a little thing, I guess, if you look at it in a way. He saved you, so you're just saving him from going insane. But it doesn't really matter. The game doesn't punish you for it. That's that. I remember the first time I ever played this game, this enemy was so difficult to fight. I have no clue why. Just every time this enemy would beat my butt. Granted, I was probably playing a little too early in my life. I was way too young to be playing. But normally, you'll go up those steps if you don't have the black fire bombs. You'll go up those steps because that door will be shut because the demon will still be in there. Then when you jump down, once you go through the fog, you jump down and you'll press the bumper. And you'll normally land on its head, dealing massive damage. And that's where you then proceed to fight them with your sword and equipment. But black fire bombs is always a good option. Good option to choose
Only
in the game.
in the ancient legends it is stated that one day an undead shall be chosen. To leave the undead asylum in pilgrimage. to the land of the ancient lords. Lordran.
Lordran. This is your level up screen. Oh. Some people will probably remember it. Some people won't, and it's okay. Each thing kind of does its own thing on here. And because I don't have a level up, it's hard for me to remember and say. But vitality is your health, endurance is your stamina, strength and dex are, they're kind of like your main weapon skills, weapon level ups. So for this character it's going to be more of a strength build, so I'll be putting more points in strength. Whereas dexterity still requires both for each build, whether you do a dex build or a strength build. But dex will be the higher number, and you'll use weapons like daggers, knives, rapiers, spears, things that will generally be a lot more dexterous in use. And then from here, just like most FromSoft games, is you kind of have whatever way you want to go. But it is highly recommended to turn around after you level up from where you spawn in at the game, or spawn in here over this way. Albeit it's so fun to be over here. Over this way are undead, and how fun it is to goof around with undead and try to be cool. You unfortunately can't do that this early in the game without a faith weapon, or have faith equipped on your weapon. I got stuck on the team stuff. But yeah, having faith on your weapon is about the only thing that will allow you to do significant damage, and also allow you to pretty much allow you to actually stop the enemy from respawning, because if you fight them, they will respawn. So just crumble and come back. And right here is your Firekeeper. She will be the one to reinforce your Estus flasks with what you saw on the little loading screen, being the Firekeeper soul or shrine. You'll bring that back to her, and she'll reinforce your Estus, which will make it heal for more. In this game, I think it's undead. You get 10, or maybe that's with kindling. I can't remember. It's been years since I've played this game. But I know at a certain point, if you use up a lot of your up, I think, over half of your Estus flasks, so about 5. is 5. I think you start only having 5 Estus flasks after that, and then you need to kindle. Traded. And to something I know would get on people's nerves is in order to run, just like in Elden Ring, you press B and hold it. But to jump in this game, you have to then tap B again to jump. So it kind of makes you, I guess, clinching when you try to do big jumps and you're not sure. But the Ring of Sacrifice, because I'm not sure if there's anything like it in Elden Ring, but the Ring of Sacrifice is a single-use item. So, as it says, lose nothing upon death, but ring breaks. So, when inevitably I die right up here, somewhere, which will be very soon, I will keep all my souls, but I'll lose the ring. And you get a couple of these throughout the game. I'm pretty sure that as well you can get it from a vendor at a certain point. Be careful about these rats. They're really dangerous. They'll give you like a curse or a plague, and it is pretty much a game in the early game. If I am correct, there's 2 enemies. One, that guy right there, he is kind of like a distraction enemy. As you saw with that undead with the axe, he kind of drops down and tries to scare you and get you with some pretty good damage. Be careful about these enemies right here. Even though they're nothing super scary, when you're running by real fast, you're like, uh-oh. And the next thing you know, you're getting swarmed by a couple enemies that you weren't ready for. Rubbish in this game. If I'm thinking correctly. Yeah, it's just a sellable item. But if I am correct, I think rubbish is used for like a couple of weapons in the game to allow them to reinforce. I can't remember. And I know if anybody that's actually played this game watches, they'll probably tell me that I'm an idiot and that no, they're used for this, or no, they're not used for anything. And I remember this is one of the harder games to get backstabs on when you were fighting the enemy, because as you saw right there with that guy, he will turn on you even though he's in the middle of an animation. So it can get a little annoying to fight some of the enemies, especially some of the harder ones, especially after they hit you about to be like, I'm gonna kill him with the backstab, and then next thing you know, they spin around on you. And I was never good at this, even when I played this game a lot. But I know if you run and jump right there, you go across. I don't know what items, I think it's just like a humanity and some souls that you get up there, which is nothing super important. Because honestly, I think later in the game you somehow manage to get up there, and by later I mean it's not super late, but anybody that actually played this game and remembers it will be able to say otherwise. See, I'm going off of thinking of the original edition of Dark Souls. So I don't know if they patched out certain things in the Prepare to Die edition or what. See, something also unlike in Elden Ring, you don't have the ability to crouch in this game. So in order to sneak up on enemies, you have to walk forward. And obviously the less equipment you have on, the easier it is to sneak up on the enemy. There's a bonfire right through here, so you never forget it, because it'll make your life a little bit easier, especially if you run by it and you make it all the way up to the technical second, but in my opinion, first boss fight of the game. I always have a hard time fighting these guys because they, for some reason, it's hard for me. I think it's just because they have some pretty good poise.
Well now, you seem to have your wits about you, hmm? Then you are a welcome customer. I trade for souls. Everything's for sale.
I don't know if I have my wits about me, but sure. So this right here is the Orange Guidance Soapstone. As it says, write, view, rate messages, which now you can't do it anyway, so kind of a useless thing. Lloyd's Talisman. Some of the enemies, a lot of the undead enemies, can heal with the Estus Flask just like you can. So this is nice, especially if you're fighting some pretty powerful opponents. Then you just got your normal stuff. Let's say you got your repair powder, throwing knives, fire bombs. You got a residence key, a bottomless box, and then something that is honestly really recommended, in my opinion, is to get the repair box because
What a waste of...
lose durability for your weapons in the game. Oh. Yeah, and you see right down there the require. It says that it has a durability of 100 and 250, and I've brought it down 5 points. It kind of sucks, and I think they got rid of the durability later in other games, which is honestly really nice. Because the durability kind of sucks, especially if you decide you don't need to buy the repair box. You gotta go to the hospitals and have them do it. And if I remember correctly in this game, there's no fast travel, so you're kind of left in a SOL type of situation. Because you have to physically run from the fires to each area. Always something to keep in mind. I would definitely recommend buying the repair box, especially if you have the souls, which granted, like in most Souls games, it's not that difficult to get the 3,000 souls and then recoup your losses from, especially in this game. Because I think a lot of it was because it was their first, not really their first, but they were trying to fix some of the problems from Demon Souls that players have. So they give you a lot of consumable items to use, and a lot of the time you will get you'll be getting those little souls that you use, and they'll help you real quick with it. See, right here is where I said you can only sneak by slowly walking up on your enemies. If I would have ran, they would have saw me, heard me a lot sooner. And turned around and got ready for me. But if you walk up on them, they'll take a few seconds. Now, too, like I said, I'm using some heavier equipment. Oh. It's easy for them to hear me.
Oh, still been going. Never hurts to splurge.
Then we'll go back and talk to this guy. So we get our repair box. Then the key, I think I actually think, if I am correct, the key unlocks a house just right up here. It's not too far away, but you get like a really powerful consumable that will help you fight. Actually goes a long way in helping fight the Black Knights because they will tank. They'll tank bad. That's what I thought. And then maybe it's not right up here, but I know there's a house where you use it. And they'll give golden pine resin, if I'm remembering correctly, for the game. It's that house right there. The door's still shut. It'll give you golden pine resin, and that will add lightning to your weapon for a short time, which is good when you fight certain enemies, because of just like every enemy and boss in Dark Souls, gosh, Elden Ring, all of them, they all have certain things they're resistant to. And they're weak to. And I think the knights are weak to lightning. Like I said before, somebody with actual experience in the game will be able to be like, no, they're not. Or somebody that still plays the game often would easily be able to tell me, no, you're wrong. Because I know once you go up those steps, because right up there is another demon fight, and it's a boss I struggle with all the time in this game, and I have no clue why. I think it's just because I can't fight this overly huge boss in the tight arena that is given. Might be able to do it with the black fire bombs and cheese it a little bit, but I don't know. I highly doubt it. Then right there is the Black Knight. I forget what he's guarding, and I'm no better than this. Yeah. See, not even close to being capable of fighting him. I know comparative to later games, some of the enemies are more forgiving. Than other enemies, but not by much, as you can see. Black Knights are one of the harder enemies to really fight early game. Yeah, Golden Pine Resin. That will give you the electric on your weapon, which will really help out when you fight the Black Knights. Now once you level up in the game and you start getting some really good damage dealing weapons, and you'll notice that it very quickly turns into just how much damage can I deal on these guys versus having to sit there and mess around with getting hit and trying to dodge. See, as you could tell, the enemies get a lot more aggressive when you don't have your shield out, because you can still block, but there's no real point in blocking with your
there
weapon.
you are. Then go ahead. Never heard.
Because quite honestly, you'll just pretty much take full damage.
What's the matter?
We'll come back for that guy in a minute, because there is one thing I want to get. That would just be, I want to get the bottomless box. So that way, at least I can manage my inventory a little bit better. Something that the game doesn't tell you is once you beat like a collective grouping of enemies, you will get a humanity in return for beating them, but you gotta beat them quick. So I think in the game it's like, I think it counts as 4+ enemies as you get the humanity in return, and they're all in quick succession. So you just got to remember that. Honestly, it's easier than what it sounds to get like 4 enemies grouped up, point case right here, and just swing at them really fast, especially when you get like a weapon that doesn't stop instantly.
What was that? Oh.
When you swing like the battle axe does. So if you notice the battle axe with the light attacks, you don't pull through, but that's how it is for a lot of weapons in Dark Souls. So you just kind of have one swinging motion and that's it. And you kind of deal with it. Which now, like the Spy Hander, it has a couple animations with it. Cheesing it. Yeah, they really don't like you, like at all. See, I shouldn't have been goofy and fought the Black Knight, because I'm not good at fighting the demon that's up here, and I will very easily get overpowered in no time. And two, I think they might have got rid of like the little glitch that you could do with the demon, to where you can constantly go up that little ladder right there and drop down on him before he jumps up there. But I think they got rid of it because people were cheesing it, like me. So very bad at the game. Two, I don't think you can get a summons up here. Like, I don't think you can summon an NPC to help you. But even if I could, I'm kind of at a disadvantage because I didn't use one of my humanities. Which really I could just run back. Oh my gosh. And your path up to here. So I think I will. I'll just run back to the bonfire real fast. Use my humanity. We'll see if there is a summons, but I don't think you're that lucky for this boss up here. But too, having humanity will also allow you to talk to certain NPCs in the game and give you some unique gestures and just some unique dialogue. Let's see, this is what your character looks like on creation. So once you reverse hollowing, that's what your character will always look like. As soon as you die, you lose it. So it's a use it very wisely type of thing, because this is the way you will ultimately be able to summon the NPCs to help you in your fight. It's just like Elden Ring and Dark Souls 3, to where you could summon your friend, and then there were certain bosses that had NPCs that would be able to be summoned with you if you didn't play online. The same goes as on for Dark Souls, the first one. But ultimately, the first one you had to use humanity to summon them. Good old spy hander. Trying to not waste a lot of Estus flasks until I get up to the boss. Yeah, getting the spy hander early game is extremely overpowered. As you can tell, kind of just break everything. Two, it does help fight the Black Knights a little bit, but early game, as you can see, I practically use all my stamina up on either one power swing or just a couple light swings. So it has its ups and downs, and it's really not a recommended weapon for early game because you kind of need the stamina. It's something to help people out if they ever decide to come back to this game, or new people are like, I want to buy it. Once you get up here to this demon fight, make sure to turn around like I did and go up this ladder before you summon the boss halfway through, because they will sit there and snipe you right in your back, and it is not fun trying to fight a big giant boss right there. Shot in the back. Dang it. You gotta be careful to fight the boss. I don't have enough black fire bombs to mess with it. There goes all my humanities. But yeah, just like I thought, there really ain't nothing you can do. You can't summon anybody. Yes, I got I just lost everything. That was my own fault. I knew better. And quite honestly, with these enemies here, they're weaker than dog snot. But they are so annoying. Especially those hollow soldiers. Because as you can see, they just are relentless with their attacks. And it is quite annoying. Especially when you don't have a shield. I guess I should say you have a shield, but it's on your back. Unfortunately, I can't be a big boy. Five-hander, one-handed. But this five-hander is nice because you can do that. This boss up here, I think cheese mode is going to be activated for it. Try to see if I can do the old school cheese it and run up that ladder each time and get the boss. Some of the problem with using the black fire bombs on that boss is, as you can see, they go right between his legs, and then you're kind of left scratching your head like, why'd that happen, or am I not close enough? And the answer is always yes with FromSoftware games. I'm not going to get killed right here with these two. Good old NPCs of these games. give you humanity when you beat them. The Homeward Bone, it allows you to return to the last bonfire you rested at, so if you end up going into an area to where you're like, uh-oh, this is way too early. Yeah, I'm too early game, too underleveled to be here, like Blacktown. It allows you to go back without losing any of your souls. So it's always a huge plus.
Ah, hello. You don't look hollow, far from it. I am Solaire of Astora, an adherent of the Lord of Sunlight. Now that I am undead, I have come to this great land, the birthplace of Lord Gwyn, to seek my very own son. You find that strange? Well, you should. No need to hide your reaction. I get that look all the time. Oh, aha. So I didn't scare you. I have a proposition, if you have a moment. The way I see it, our fates appear to be intertwined. In a land brimming with hollows, could that really be mere chance? So what do you say? Why not help one another on this lonely journey? This pleases me greatly. Well then, take this.
The white sign, soapstone.
We are amidst strange beings in a strange land. The flow of time itself is convoluted, with heroes centuries old phasing in and out. The very fabric wavers, and relations shift and obscure. There's no telling how much longer your world and mine will remain in contact. But use this to summon one another as spirits, cross the gaps between the worlds, and engage in jolly cooperation. Of course, we are not the only ones engaged in this, but I am a warrior of the sun. Spot my summon signature easily by its brilliant aura. If you miss it, you must be blind.
And that's kind of the brief overview of jolly cooperation in Dark Souls and how everybody kind of, you know, it just outright says each person is in their own hands and in their own time in this game. And here comes the fun time. I might not make it in time. Because you run like a little fast boy. And you go under here. Yeah, here it is. This will be your friend. Because if you notice, there was no bonfires on the way there. On the way back to here. So this is the second bonfire. As for now, we call it good for beating the demon and making it to the dragon portion. So I will probably do another video, say in about a week or two, just see how this one does, which hopefully does good. We'll see.